The rise and fall of Rachael Ray. Rachael Ray is totally done now? Let's find out. Rachael Ray, a name that is well known when it comes to cooking shows. So if you're into cooking shows and such, I'm sure you've heard of her. But did you know she was just an ordinary chef delivering cooking classes out of upstate New York gourmet market Cowan and Lobel when she was discovered by CBS? Let's get into the depths of her career for our video for today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Rachael Ray is a staple for anyone who enjoys cooking shows, and especially for those who have enjoyed her famous 30-minute meals. She made her TV debut in 2006 when Rachael's 30-minute Mediterranean meal classes became wildly popular, and she was signed on to CBS to do a 30-minute meal segment at night. Her first cookbook was released shortly after and began flying off of shelves, marking the start of Ray's success story as a celebrity chef. Ray has since released countless cookbooks featuring many recipes, obviously including and increasing the beloved 30-minute meal recipes. She also launched a lifestyle magazine called Everyday with Rachael Ray and began her own hour-long TV show called Rachael Ray. However, the chef didn't always see fame as the direction in which her life would go in. Ray says about her success, "My life has been a total accident, a very happy, wonderful accident that I didn't and couldn't have planned." Before she achieved this stardom in the cooking world, Ray lived a normal life with humble beginnings in Glen Falls, New York. If we go into the depths of Rachael Ray's love of food, we'd find that it was inspired by her Italian grandfather. With a lineage from the Sicilian area of Italy, her grandfather inspired some of her favorite recipes to this day. In an interview, Ray said, "My grandfather knew how to make everything, and fortunately he taught my mother. Food was a family affair and she still incorporates her learning in her cooking today." After learning to cook for her large family with her grandparents, Ray worked with her relatives at her family's restaurants in the Cape Cod area of Massachusetts. She got experience in every corner of the restaurants, from the host stand to the kitchen. Recalling that experience, Ray said, "I was surrounded by all different styles of cooking, and worked in the food service industry in just about every capacity you can imagine." Rachael Ray loved her time in the industry before her fame. Rachael Ray continued working in the food industry after moving on from the family business. She began her professional career after moving to New York and working behind the candy counter at Macy's, where she eventually worked her way up to the position of Fresh Foods Department Manager. Looking back on those years, Ray credits her gourmet food knowledge to her time at Macy's. Like many chefs, she emphasizes the importance of working in all positions in the food industry. In her book, Rachael Ray 50, Memories and Meals from a Sweet and Savory Life, she stated, "I think that everybody should have to be a dishwasher. I think that everybody should learn how to take an order and serve people, you know." Inspired by the traditional ways of cooking she inherited from her family, Ray had already laid a foundation in her craft early on. While she may not have known that her 30-minute meals would be so well loved, we're certainly glad she decided to share them, as in the fast world we live in currently, cooking isn't a major part of our lives. However, all of this changed in 2020 when a global pandemic hit the world. And as expected, most people weren't prepared to take on a world crisis that would leave them out of a job. However, talk shows such as Ray's started shooting episodes from their homes, and many of their staff were no longer being paid. Seemingly, Ray's show, titled The Rachael Ray Show, was always known for having a super clean reputation. People mostly loved working there simply for how the network treated its crew like a family. People who had worked there for years had talked about the workplace culture, adding that the show was all about inclusiveness, having also thrown tons of parties for staff, including birthday events and more. But once the coronavirus pandemic came along, everything changed. Since Ray was performing her duties from home, many were left out of work and money, which after a while led CBS to release a statement to clarify what was going on behind the scenes. When COVID-19 forced our studio production to shut down in March, we started shooting Rachael Ray at Rachael's home out of necessity, a spokesperson said. As we moved into fall, with COVID cases increasing, we made the difficult decision to continue to shoot the show from Rachael's home for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, this new format has affected some valued studio crew, including IATSE members. Ray seemed just as upset about the negative attention she and her show had received over demands that her staff earns their pay. There was a ton of back and forth between producers on whether or not the crew along with Ray could return to work from November, 2 months after the season 15 premiere. And while it was originally said that the idea would not be possible since COVID-19 cases were rising, it seemed there was a change of heart by CBS executives at the last minute. Ray's show in its latest series has dropped by 20%, and given that she's on a season-to-season renewal, I don't think it should come as a surprise if this ends up being her last series. Anyway, this wraps up our video for today. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it.